Hi, welcome to my PowerPoint presentation on pyrotechnic signals, better known as distress flares. This is a quick overview of Canadian standards for small commercial vessels and pleasure craft. My name is Captain Leslie Head and my company is Heads Up Navigation in Victoria, British Columbia. So all flares used in Canada have to be approved by Transport Canada or SOLAS, and they are only good for 4 years from the date of manufacture. Now the day you buy them is not important, but you do need to know that it's 4 days from the date of manufacture. These flares now will last longer. Keep them in a dry container. They're great for spares. We always need extras if we're in an emergency situation. Now, if you're traveling offshore, you should purchase the SOLAS approved flares. They're a lot brighter. They basically go higher up in the sky. They can be seen from a much greater distance. Always have the correct number for your vessel. You can find out how many you need and what type from the Transport Canada website or the Canadian Coast Guard website. Store the flares in an accessible place near the helm and always treat as an explosive. Now always shoot the flares away from the vessel into the wind at approximately 45-degree angle. Look away when firing because you can damage your eyes. Check their condition regularly to make sure that they're not deteriorating. Never shoot at another person or boat. Wear gloves to prevent burning. Never throw them overboard if they're used or deteriorated. And purchase the Canadian flares for your Canadian boat. Americans would use US flares. Remember to read the instructions. You'll have no time to do so in an emergency situation. And for many of you that are getting closer to my age where we need glasses, it's not going to do you any good in an emergency trying to find your glasses so that you can read the instructions. So read them when you first purchase them. They're a one-time only flare. You cannot practice with them, and you certainly shouldn't be practicing or playing with them and having fun with them. Fines are significant if you do shoot them off because they are only for imminent danger and distress. Keep them away from children, but certainly don't lock them away, and never store close to combustible materials. So here we have Type A. This is a parachute flare, shoots up into the sky 1,000 feet. It releases, comes down in about 45 seconds because it's got a little parachute attached. We've got 30,000 candle power. It is a two-handed activation. Look away when squeezing the trigger, and it can be seen for 27 nautical miles. The Type 2 or Type B style is a multi-star. It shoots off two small red flares at approximately 300 feet, which both last 4 to 5 seconds. It's about 15,000 candle power. These are suitable for lake and nearshore use, and they're visible from land and air. My favorite is, of course, the pistol type shown in the top corner here on our right. The reason for that is that it's easier to assemble and shoot off. Some of the other flares are a little bit more difficult to trigger. The third type is a handheld flare. Now the picture at the top here is of a Type 2 flare. It's a SOLAS quality. You read down at the bottom, burning for 1 minute at 15,000 candle power. Certainly more bright than Type 1, which is only 700 candle power, and it lasts for about 3 minutes. So this is good for lakes close to shore. Now the last one is Type D. And Type D is a smoke boy, a smoke flare. The can type, which is bigger than a can of beans, you would ignite, throw it into the water. It's going to last for about 3 minutes. And the other type I've shown here is handheld style. These would be ignited downwind. This one would be thrown into the water. This one you're going to hold in your hand. Make sure the ashes go over the side of the boat, not onto the boat. They can be seen for up to 5 nautical miles. Make sure you wear gloves with them. Now that's the 4 types of flares. So remember, it is an offense to make a false mayday call or to set off a flare unless you are in imminent danger. And wait to use your flares until you see another vessel or perhaps hear an airplane coming close. Now, if you're offshore, very often you're going to have to set off these flares to attract that attention that you need. Always carry more flares than you need. It's a smart thing. I mean, most of the time we will never use them, but boy, in an emergency, when you need flares, you're liable to use the entire complement that you have on board. Always check to make sure that all of your emergency equipment is in its place and ready to use. And be a safe and cautious boater. Thank you so much.